Alrighty, everyone. Happy January 1st, 2025. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Happy New Year's to you guys. If you guys were out there partying last night, hope you guys had fun. We do got some severe weather to cover today, as well as the winter storm that we're about to have in the Ohio Valley and upper Midwest and possibly in the Northeast as we go towards this weekend. We do have a rare day 5 severe weather risk to talk about for Sunday, this coming up Sunday, as well as an Arctic blast as well. So we're going to kind of hit all 3 points roughly here. I will be doing a live stream later on this afternoon as well. But the big story is going to be, like I said, the winter storm, a pretty powerful winter storm with some ice, significant icing, as well as the threat for some snow. And then we'll also have probably some of the coldest air of the season on its way down after this system comes through this weekend. So on your screen here, guys, you can see 2 different systems ongoing. We've got that upper level low here that was bringing our low and severe weather risk that we had in the eastern Ohio Valley yesterday and Northeast. We actually had a couple tornado warnings yesterday that were issued in the Northeast. So luckily nothing was confirmed at all, but just adding to what's happened over the last couple of weeks with severe weather. So watching that low pressure move off to the Northeast, this is our next upper level to system that's going to be moving in off towards the West Pacific here and into the Central Plains, and then eventually this coming weekend on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday into the Ohio Valley, where we could see our first significant winter storm of the year. So that's something to be very mindful of. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. I just wanted to show you guys that water vapor imagery really quickly. No severe weather expected between today and Saturday, but that rare day 5 came out, and typically more times than not, when we see these day 4 through 8 outlooks that get issued by SPC that are, higher up and further out, more confidence in a significant event potentially unfolding, we've got a day 5 risk for significant potential severe weather here. This is going to be a level 2 risk out of 5. That's slight risk: Shreveport, Louisiana, Jackson, Mississippi, Beaumont, Texas, Longview, Texas, Lake Charles. And then there will be a marginal risk that comes out. So I would expect pretty much all of Louisiana to be in a risk zone at some point, maybe even into central Mississippi. If you guys do notice, these are some of the same exact areas that got hit with severe weather and a couple strong tornadoes as well on Saturday. So just another area, once again, that we have to watch for as we go towards the weekend here. With that trough moving through, we're going to have an upper level disturbance and negatively tilted trough that will allow for some instability and some shear in place. I don't think this is going to be a big tornado outbreak. I think this is actually going to be more of a damaging wind event than anything, but we will be here to cover this on Sunday. We will start to talk about this over the next couple of days. So we'll keep you guys updated on this. This will be a Sunday daytime and overnight threat into Monday morning as we travel across the east. So I wouldn't be surprised if eventually at some point we get a Monday risk zone. We'll just kind of have to see what happens with that. Now, there's going to be 2 different models we talk about today with the snow precip and the ice precip. The first thing I want to show you guys is that latest GFS run. This is our upper level low, or our upper level dynamics here. You can see a very strong jet stream moving in with very cold air that's going to develop on Saturday on the 4th here. Very strong upper level winds. They're definitely going to see some winds gusts out there. Here comes our storm system, our winter storm for Sunday and Monday. Now, this is going to be a negatively tilted trough, and we are going to see, like I said, that severe weather in that southeast quadrant where that trough is ejecting at. There'll be a little bit of instability, not extreme instability. We'll have a little bit of shear from the mid and upper levels and lower levels, and we will also add the threat for that damaging wind, tornado, and hail potential on Sunday. So we'll get more into detail on that later on. Where we're going to see that ice and that snow is going to be up in this corridor right here. So the Ohio Valley, Kentucky area, Tennessee Valley. We'll have to see how far that warm sector lifts and where the rain snow freeze line is at. So as we get closer to this event happening, I'll give you guys more details on that. But then once this system moves through, you're going to start to see a big transition. We're going to have these upper level lows that are going to basically come out of Canada with some of the coldest air we have seen in quite some time. Now, there's been a lot of hype about this on social media, so I want you guys to understand this isn't going to be, negative 50 and 60 degree temperatures. These are going to be probably below zero, but a couple people will see 20s and 30s below zero, and then we'll see the feel like temperatures go up. So this will be the area that we're watching for significant below zero temperatures, more than likely at some point as we go towards next week, and then the possibility for even some snow and some ice down into the southeast, Texas, Louisiana. You guys down there, we're starting to get concerned. We're seeing more model trends as we see the potential for severe weather as well as winter storms down south. So if you're down south and you're like, I haven't seen a winter storm in 10 or 15 years, it's not going to happen. Don't say that, because if we get that cold air that does officially come down, and it looks very likely that we're going to clearly see that cold, if a low pressure system sets up in the Gulf or off the southeast coastline there, we will have the chance for a winter storm to develop. Now, we'll talk more about that, like I said, in detail on streams and future videos. Here's what the GFS has got for us this week. There's a little clipper system that moves through here along the Ohio Valley through Thursday and Friday here with a little bit of snow potential. And then as we go into Sunday, we start to see our winter storm develop here. And this is going to be where we see the threat here for heavy snowfall, ice, potentially Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri. And then we get into the weekend and our big winter storm develops. Now, like I said earlier, how far is that going to reach north? How far are we going to basically see that ice and warm sector lift? So this is where we're thinking the rain is basically going to be at. Could see a little bit of freezing rain possibly if this shifts back down towards the Tennessee and Arkansas area, but it looks more and more and more that we're going to see heavy snowfall over the central and Ohio Valley, an ice mix and a wintry mix, potentially with some snow and ice for southern and eastern Missouri into western Kentucky. Western Kentucky seems to have the really high totals. Clearly, that's where I'm at. So go figure, we would see those highest totals here. So we'll have to watch this. That snow would work its way east, kind of fall apart a little bit as that low weakens, but snowfall across the Ohio Valley and ice accumulations as well will definitely be possible this coming Sunday through Monday. I do expect winter storms as possibly ice storm warnings to be issued eventually at some point over the next couple of days. Those will be watches, and then they'll become warnings as we get about 24 hours, 48 hours out from the event. Past that point, we get towards the following week, January 7th and beyond. We could see, now this is a lot of social media hype here, but we could see the chance for a winter storm that could develop in Texas, Louisiana, and in the deep south. So like I said, with that cold air that's going to be coming in behind this storm system this weekend, it will set the table for very, very cold air, some of the coldest air that you guys have seen down south in a while. And with that cold air in place, any type of upper level disturbance that can develop off the Gulf of Mexico will bring in that moisture. It'll allow for that cold air to mix in. We could see a winter storm the second week of January. It is not uncommon. It is not impossible. Am I banking on it right now? No, because we're more than 7 days out. So remember that, guys. No hype. If we look at models and they're more than 7 to 10 days out, take it with a grain of salt, even with 3 to 5 days out. We watch it, we study it, we look for trends, we look for ensembles to show things. There's a lot of stuff that goes in the behind the scenes. So very, very, very just something we're going to have to watch there. Now, that would potentially go east, and we'd have a big northeast coast system, basically, if that were to develop. So we'll talk more about that if that does happen. I do want to show you guys some of these snowfall totals here, just kind of vary between the GFS and the European model. Now, the GFS snowfall total-wise has a majority of that in the Missouri and Ohio Valley. We could see a good half a foot to a foot of snow swafted somewhere between Iowa, Missouri, and into the mid-Atlantic. Now, the ice potential is where things start to get a little bit more concerning. And that ice potential will be able to be pretty significant, and you can see where that freezing rain line is going to basically set up, and it looks to be, you know, portions of southern Kansas into Missouri, here into Kentucky, and then into portions of North Carolina and the mid-Atlantic. We could see potentially a quarter an inch to maybe up to 3/4 of an inch of ice, which would be crippling and catastrophic if that were to happen. Now, that is the GFS model run. The European model run, this is the ice accumulations on the Euro, a lot higher amounts on the Euro. This would be even more significant, but we'll have to really see over the next 2 to 3 days where this does set up. We will definitely have more of a confident answer on that, as well as the total snowfall on the European model as well. A little bit further placed to the north, but more of a half a foot to a foot potentially in some of these areas. So we'll get those accumulation totals kind of fine detailed for you guys. Just something to be very, very mindful of. Here's the temperature outlook. Now, these are the air temperatures that we could see over the next week or so. And like I said, you're going to see that cold air. It's going to come down. There's that significant event coming down on Monday. Arctic blast. We got below zero temperatures for much of the northern plains and upper Midwest. We start to see those 30s trickle in down towards the Gulf of Mexico, and we really get that big blast of air as we get closer and closer and closer towards the 9th and the 10th. Now, some of the models are showing a second trough that could bring in some more colder air as we get towards the 12th and beyond. That's why that outlook, that climatological outlook basically says between the next 8 to 14 days that we could see cold air. But the good news is, could we see a warming trend maybe as we get closer to the middle and end of January? Possible. We'll have to wait and see if models trend and ensembles trend to show things kind of maybe going back, but we've got to look at different ensembles. We've got to look at NPOs, PAOs, all of that's up in Canada as well to kind of get an idea on what we're going to see as we go towards the end of January. But I wanted to get on here and get you guys out that first video of the year. Once again, I do appreciate you guys. Share this out to everyone that you guys know. Like the video as well, and we will see you guys in a stream this afternoon as well as in the next video tomorrow. Once again, guys, Happy New Year. Stay safe and be weather aware.